It's about time that the United States said, and I'm glad it said it, this is the capital. We recognize it. And I think that's going to be followed by other countries. We're now talking to several countries who are seriously considering now saying exactly the same thing as the United States and moving their embassies to Jerusalem.
Which countries? Or from what continents?
I could tell you that, but I won't because I want it to succeed, and I think there's a good chance it will.
President Trump didn't use the word united. Neither did you use the word united right there. And he said the Israeli sovereignty in Jerusalem is open for negotiations, as are the borders. Are you ready to negotiate Jerusalem?
Our position is Jerusalem should remain a united, safe, and secure city. Freedom of worship for all faiths, which we guarantee. And by the way, in the Middle East, we're just about the only ones that guarantee this freedom of worship for Jews, Christians, and Muslims alike. So that's my vision of Jerusalem. Palestinians may have a different vision. They should come and negotiate.
Are you willing to negotiate Jerusalem?
I'm willing to put my position forward. They'll put their position forward. That's what negotiations are for.
President Trump didn't rule out a Palestinian capital or a Palestinian city in some part of Jerusalem. That's okay with you in a negotiation?
He didn't preclude our position either. He just said, I'm not addressing that. There's not going to be any peace where Jerusalem is not Israel's capital. So he was saying something that is a historical fact, but I think it was important to say it. And for the furtherance of peace, I think you have to finally recognize that reality. And I think it's just happening. It's happening outside the halls of the UN a lot faster than it's happening in the theater of the absurd of the UN, but it's happening. And
you're not fazed ever so slightly by the General Assembly resolution, are you?
It may take about 10 years until the absurd automatic majorities against Israel will change. But that process has begun. The overwhelming response of Asian countries and all African countries, Latin American countries, European countries to Israel, to its technology, water, agriculture, health, security. They're just, I'd say they're embracing Israel in a great way. And what will happen eventually is that this embrace of Israel, the flourishing of our relations with the world, will eventually get even to the theory of the absurd of the UN. It'll take time.
Are you ready to openly commit here to a two-state solution?
Well, I'm openly committing to a situation where the Palestinians can govern themselves, have all the powers to govern themselves, except the powers to threaten us. And that's always been my position. I said, this is
But a state of Palestine next to a state of Israel.
Depends what that state is. If it's North Korea.
With whatever qualifications you want on
well,
a demilitarized Palestinian state. That
well, so then they start saying, well, that's not a state. They start saying that. So rather than dealing in brands and naming, I'm just saying, here are the conditions we need. The most important condition that we need for an effective, sustainable peace for both Palestinians and Israelis and for the region is a situation where Israel has overriding security control.
What happens next? From the big picture, whether it's the US or Russia or other countries, what happens next?
I think, first of all, you're going to see the continued trend of Israel's increasing ties with the many countries in the world. That's happening. I think that if we can get the hearts of the people, we already have the minds, I think, of many of the governments, but if we can get the hearts of the people, that's cause for hope, and I think that's the highway to peace.